Howdy everyone, it's Sam. I hope you're doing really well. If you're new around here, hope I can get you to consider liking the content and subscribing to the channel. And if you are a regular around these here parts, thank you very much for the continuous support. We are 3 weeks in. Week 4 is ahead of us in the NFL season. And to help me preview this weekend, I need a lot of help. And we've got 2 gentlemen that are on the opposite spectrums of the YouTube game. Mr. BKR Sport and a young man in the top left corner named Braden. I'm very appreciative of both of these gentlemen's times tonight. It's a bit of a hectic week this weekend, considering it's grand final week in the National Rugby League. First of all, to you, BKR Sport, thank you for your time once more. How are you going, dude?
Yeah, good, man. Obviously, look, for my team, it's been a kind of 50-50 year, but it's actually been a positive year so far for us. So, no, I'm loving the NFL right now, man, and keen to get chatting.
Yeah, man. And Braden is a young Seahawks fan. And once more, look, he can tell us a little bit more about himself. But Braden, how are you? And I'm very grateful for your time tonight, mate. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm a bit nervous for time on the YouTube. But yeah, Braden, I'm a Seahawks fan, been done for the Seahawks since 2012 when I really realised what the NFL was.
Yep, that came in nice and smooth there, Braden. Braden, mate, can you just very quickly tell everyone who in the National Rugby League that it is that you support just quickly, mate?
I support the mighty Penrith Panthers.
Oh, there you go.
Premiership.
Good luck. Good luck, mate. Good luck this weekend, bro. And enjoy it. Now, let's get stuck straight into it. Now, the main reason why I wanted BKR Sport here to help us with Braden as well is because it's his team versus our team. And finally, I got some backup with me on one of these bloody streams for once.
Yeah, well, now, to be fair, man, when we just before we jump into this, when I was last on here, we did the Titans-Cowboys buddy prediction, and that was at the beginning of our demise and the start of your buddy when you guys went up. So, you know, hopefully this time I get one over you because the last time we got flogged.
Thank you for that, bro, for sure. Yeah. Now, we're going to just do this very quickly out of order as well. So this game is kicking off Monday morning, and it is obviously the Detroit Lions hosting the Seattle Seahawks from Ford Field, and the bookies have the Detroit Lions as $1.47 favorites to the Seattle Seahawks, $2.70. And the last time that the Detroit Lions beat Seattle away or home was in 2012. BKR Sport, man, have you had an opportunity to, well, I bet you have. What's your opinion on the Detroit Lions so far this season, man?
A lot of positivity, but also mixed with same old, same old. So I wouldn't say there's any negativity around the franchise right now because obviously, you know, we've got guys like DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams has been doing a job as well, Amon-Ra St. Brown, nice and young there. Jared Goff is serviceable, obviously, and doing kind of what he needs to do. And we are, look, we're 1-2, but in the same sense, realistically, we should be 2-1, but unfortunately, the same old of the Detroit Lions, we know how to throw away games, but we've pretty much already won the game. And that's exactly what happened against Minnesota this weekend just gone, where, you know, we led 14-0, and then they came back to 14-14, and then we led 24-14, and they ended up winning 28-24 with like 40 seconds left. And it's just a typical Detroit Lions thing where we can never seem to actually close off games despite how positive our season's been so far.
And just quickly, did you have an opportunity or have you had an opportunity to watch the Hard Knocks documentary over this offseason?
I've watched a bit of it. I haven't watched all of it just yet. I usually wait because obviously the NRL season right now is so packed and the last 4 or 5 weeks have just been hectic. So I haven't really had time to, but I will definitely be watching the rest of it. So I've watched the first 2, but I'll be watching the rest of it after the grand final this weekend because I'll have a lot more time for myself, I guess.
Yeah, definitely you will be. And Braden, mate, Seattle Seahawks this season, how do you reckon that they've gone this year without the Russell Wilsons and the Bobby Wagners and the like, mate? What have you made of their season so far?
Well, in each game, other than the 49er blowout, it's been a tale of 2 halves. We come out hot and hungry with Gino and the offense, and then we just always hang on in week 1 against Denver, or we just blow the lead in the third quarter to Drake London and Atlanta Falcons, and then our offense don't seem to be clicking.
Yes, mate. Yes, mate. And look, here's a couple of things. I just heard you talk about Geno Smith there, man. Geno Smith is throwing at a 77% efficiency rate. He's only thrown 4 touchdowns, okay? Now, on Jared Goff's side for the Detroit Lions, Jared Goff is throwing at 59% efficiency rate, but he's scored 7 touchdowns, man. So the Detroit Lions are playing much more electric footy this season so far. And again, there's a gentleman that you just touched on there, BKR. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 23 receptions, which is 4th in the league, and he's ran for 253 yards for 3 touchdowns. Meanwhile, Braden, Lockett and Metcalf have combined for 1 freaking touchdown so far. So the attack of the Seahawks has definitely been the Achilles heel, man. BKR, bro, I know who you're going to tip. I know who Braden's going to tip, but just a 1 to 13 or 14 plus BKR.
I'm never confident saying 14 plus with Detroit, man. Look, obviously Seattle's issues have come from the fact that they have lost Russell Wilson and Geno Smith is their quarterback now, and also the fact that the offense has become a little bit stale in comparison to previous years where they were absolutely dominant. And defensively, it's not exactly where it was either. Definitely a transitional period for Seahawks right now. Whilst the Lions, it looks like we may be kind of transitioning into a more positive area. Look, obviously, as you mentioned, Amon-Ra St. Brown, he is kind of carrying a bit of a niggle on the ankle, but I believe he will play this game. DeAndre Swift is also in doubt, but overall, I still think the Lions should have enough here with the fact that they are a very good offensive team right now. They're scoring points, and I think we'll be able to take down Seattle in that sense, but I wouldn't be able to say, over 14 points, just because I know what Detroit's capable of. They build us up to let us down. Like I said before we even started here, my team has never won a playoff game. Not a Super Bowl. We haven't been to a Super Bowl. We've never won a playoff game, right? So, I'm never confident overall, but I'm definitely. I'd say maybe 10 points.
Nice. And Braden, mate, what do you reckon's going to happen this weekend, bro?
Well, I reckon Seattle's gonna come out firing in the third half, and then Jet hold on in the second half.
Sensational, mate.
But maybe a field goal.
By field goal.
So you want to heartbreak us again, man. Always heartbreaking Detroit, man. Always heartbreaking.
Nice. I love it. So that's exactly how I think it's going to pan out if the Seahawks win. And I think if the Detroit Lions win, I don't think it'll be just. I think it will be by like a comfortable 10-point margin as well. But go you bloody Seahawks, for freaking sake. Get on the bloody board again this season. Now let's go chronologically. Starting on Friday morning, this is a really interesting game. The Cincinnati Bengals are hosting the Miami Dolphins, and the Cincinnati Bengals are coming in at $1.48 favorites, and the Miami Dolphins are very, very juicy $2.66, and that is on sportsbet.com.au. Braden, man, how do you see Cincinnati versus Miami going down, bro?
Well, in my heart, I say Miami. But Tua, what happening with Tua, with the concussion or non-concussion? And so if they have Tua, I reckon Miami win. But if they have Teddy Bridgewater, I reckon Cincinnati and Joe Burrow with Jamar Chase then pull up a victory over Miami.
Nicely said, dude. Nicely said, BKR. What's your feelings towards this contest?
It's been a disappointing season so far for Cincinnati. They're 1-2 right now. They lost to Pittsburgh, obviously, to start off with. They beat the Jets last week. I feel like this is probably going to be a bit of a bounce-back game for them. And I know they had that win against the Jets last week, and bounce-back normally refers to a loss and then
BKR, mate. Yep.
What's that, sorry?
BKR. No, sorry, mate. The dodo bird just paused you for a second there, BKR.
Oh, true.
Continue, mate.
Okay. Yeah, no. I was just saying, usually a bounce-back game is when you lose and then come off to a win the next week. But I would still say the Jets is still the Jets, right? So I think that the season so far has been so disappointing for Cincinnati that they're going to utilize this game, which is a high-powered offense there in Miami right now, with obviously the likes of Tua if he plays, Jalen Waddle, and Chase Evans hasn't even really been used a great deal so far this year. Tyreek Hill, obviously. They're a good offensive team. I think it'll be, if anything, probably a bit of a shootout there. But I'll take Cincinnati based on the fact that they should be better than what they have been. They've got Jamar Chase, they've got T. Higgins, Burrow, Tyler Boyd as well. They've got solid enough offense to be able to maintain with Miami if it does go that route. And I think, the bounce back is here for Cincinnati.
The offensive line for the Cincinnati Bengals did improve last week in the victory against the New York Jets. But as BKR just said, it was the New York Jets that they got their first victory of the season against. Meanwhile, the Miami Dolphins ambushed the Buffalo Bills, who are the best team in the league right now. And their defense was key to that victory last weekend. They're going to gain massive confidence
Buffalo did have
from
quite
it.
a few players
Yeah.
out, though. Buffalo did have quite a few players out.
Yeah, they were injured. Granted, I do recognize that. And I think Miami Dolphins, man, they've played better footy all season long. And at $2.66, I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins to get the upset win. It really would be an upset, and to go to Cincinnati and get the victory over there in Ohio. Let's move on to the next contest now. And this is one of the first games of a couple in 2022 where the game is being played in England. The New Orleans Saints, technically the home side, are hosting the Minnesota Vikings from the brand new-ish Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And the New Orleans Saints, the home side, are at $2.19, as the Minnesota Vikings are the favourites at $1.68. BKR Sport, man, is it fair to say that both of these sides have been terribly unconvincing so far this year?
Yeah, that's why I'm looking so confused right now where I'm going to kind of lean with here, because I was a lot higher on Minnesota coming into the season. I thought Minnesota was going to have quite a good year. Obviously, they are in our division here with the Lions, and they definitely, obviously, whether they deserved last week or not when they took down the Lions, they still went down a couple of times there. Vikings overall just haven't really got it going, and Dalvin Cook is carrying an injury into this game too, I believe, so I think it'll be Alexander Mattison who will be their running back, the backup running back there. So for all you fantasy out there, I love my fantasy. Mattison, pick him up in waivers if he's there. He shouldn't be, but if he's there, then pick him up. Look, I think that Alvin Kamara hasn't really got it going yet. I think there's more to do with the Vikings that I like than with the Saints right this second. So I'll take the Vikings, but I'm not convinced at all.
Right. And Braden, man, how do you see this game going? Who are you tipping here?
I'm taking the Saints.
Saints 1-13 or 14
I'm taking
plus,
the
mate?
New Orleans Saints. 1-13.
1-13. All right, so she's going to be a close one. New Orleans Saints, man, they won by a single point to the Atlanta Falcons, who many tipped to be the wooden spooners of this season. They lost in a pretty ordinary the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then they went down to the Carolina Panthers as well, who are not playing the best of footy at the moment. I'm going to put a little bit more trust towards the Minnesota Vikings to get this one done over in jolly old England. Let's move on to the next game now, and this one is coming to us from Acrisure Stadium over there in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It is the Steelers hosting the New York Jets, and the bookies have got the Steelers $1.54 favorites to the New York Jets $2.50. Personally, for me, I think that there is a hope that the Jets could snag an upset. They did snag it against the Browns, who are pretty much by and large the same as the Pittsburgh Steelers. And if this game was being played in New York, I'd be very tempted to tip the New York Jets as well, but I'm going to play it safe, and I think this could be a really ordinary game, man, but I'm going to go the Pittsburgh Steelers. BKR Sport, man, what do you reckon, bro?
Oh, man. I wouldn't be setting aside time for me. If you're not a fan of these two teams, I wouldn't be setting it aside to individually watch this game, because I do think it'll be a bit of a, how you going game. Look, I think you're right. I think the home field advantage there of Pittsburgh does get it done. But I wouldn't be surprised. Like Michael Carter, running back, he's not really getting any more. Breece Hall's kind of going to be the guy going in with the dump offs, and a fancy guy should be getting on there. I'm gonna lean with Pittsburgh because they're at home. But like you said, if it was New York, I'd take New York.
Nice. Braden, what about you?
I'm reckon it Pittsburgh 1-13, and I reckon they're going to rely heavily on Najee Harris.
Nice. Good option, dude. Good option. All right. Well, speaking of New York, where the next game is going to be at MetLife Stadium, the New York Giants are hosting the Chicago Bears, and the Giants are $1.53 favorites to the Chicago Bears $2.52. that's a pretty nice juicy odd about the Chicago Bears, man. The Bears' strength has been their defense, but the weakness that we saw also against the Dallas Cowboys just this past Tuesday morning for the New York Giants is their offensive line. So the Chicago Bears at $2.50, it tempts me, man. But I think the Giants have just got a really nice energy about them, even though they've copped a couple of injuries since that game happened. I'm going to go the New York Giants 1-13. Braden, man, what do you reckon? Who are you tipping?
I'm going New York Giant in about that game, 1-13.
No, nice, dude, nice. And BKR, what about you, dude?
Yeah, I like the Giants here, and the reason being is that Justin Fields threw for about 100 yards and 2 interceptions in the last game that he had. I think it was against Houston, and obviously Houston's a team that you should be expecting to have a few more yards to roam for. Khalil Herbert is probably going to be starting to make a bit more ground on David Montgomery as well in the backs department there. The defense has been quite quality for the Bears this season so far, which is something that a lot of people didn't really think was going to happen. They thought that the Bears were going to regress a little bit. Obviously, Khalil Mack leaving recently as well, which was not great for their club, their franchise, considering they put so much stock into that man and it never really panned out. But that's because they focused too much on him and rather than a few other key areas they needed. But yeah, look, overall, I'll take the Giants here. Saquon Barkley is in some unreal form right now. Everything Saquon Barkley does, he's back to his rookie year form. And I just don't think the Bears are going to have enough offense. I could honestly see the Giants win this one 14+. I could see them winning by a decent amount. I may as well. I'll go 14+ there. I don't think, the Bears defense has been good enough. I'll say 1-13, just because the Bears defense probably does warrant a little bit of respect.
Yeah, makes sense, guys. That makes sense. And if you guys are just tuning in, this is BKR Sport. Link to his channel will be in the description box below at the conclusion of this stream. And Master Braden, mate, we'll talk more about that when the stream is over as well, about maybe where you can go follow him on Instagram. Let's move on to the next game. And fair dinkum, flip multiple coins and you still don't know what the hell's going to happen in this one. Okay. From Lucas Oil Stadium, the Indianapolis Colts are hosting the Tennessee Titans. The Colts are the favorites in this game on sportsbet.com.au. $1.55 to the Tennessee Titans, $2.46. The Colts have not been that good to justify how large the bracket is on the Tennessee Titans, in my opinion. What do you reckon, BKR? What do you reckon about this game?
They're both teams that have disappointed this year comparatively to where we thought they'd be. A lot of people obviously saw Matty Ryan coming into the Colts and thinking, okay, well, he was fantastic at Atlanta. He'll come here now. Obviously, elbow's not really right. He's a little bit older now. Jonathan Taylor hasn't really been able to get anything going so far as well, which has been disappointing as a first round number 1 draft pick in pretty much everybody's fantasy leagues. He was the number 1 draft pick. He hasn't really been getting a lot there. But I do think that obviously it will change throughout the season. Maybe obviously Matty Ryan just isn't exactly in tune with this offense just yet. Michael Pittman as well. It's just been an overall disappointing offense there for the Colts, and there's not a great deal to say about their defense, considering that we would have thought they would be a bit better coming into the year. With Tennessee, on the other hand, obviously Derrick Henry as well. He's the guy they have to rely on because Ryan Tannehill is not someone you really want to be relying for a win on. He's a supplementary option, which is weird to say with a quarterback, but obviously they really do focus on Derrick Henry. He had a really good game last week, which was great. Well, the week that it's just gone, he had a really good game. And I think I'm still going to go with the Colts here for, as I said before, a bounce back. I hate that I'm taking favourites, though, because in the NFL, favourites, it's completely 50-50, and I think I've taken every favourite so far, actually. But Matty Ryan, Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman, Tennessee. Yeah, Treylon Burks is really the only guy at the moment that's really coming through there at Tennessee because they've got, who's the other wide receiver? I can't think of their other wide receiver right now. I'm gonna go with the Colts. I'm gonna go with the Colts.
Robert Wood.
Robert Wood, that's the one. Robert Woods, yeah, came from the Rams. So, but I'll still take the Colts here because they've been superbly disappointing. I'll back them in, but this is a 50-50 game because I'm going to see Derrick Henry running rampant.
Yeah, it is a 50-50 game, man. And Braden, man, who do you reckon is going to win the battle, Taylor or Derrick Henry this weekend, mate?
I reckon Jonathan Taylor. So I reckon he'll have a better O-line.
And do you reckon
get more of a push?
Yeah, and do you reckon last weekend was Do you reckon it was a fluke, or do you think the Chiefs, like as far as like the Chiefs not showing up, or do you think the Colts well and truly deserved that victory last weekend, Braden?
No, I reckon it a fluke. Patrick Mahomes just had an off game, and the offense didn't look right last week.
And who do you tipping in this game, man?
I'm taking Jonathan Taylor and the Indianapolis Colts 1-13.
Okay. Yep. Look, I like the value on the Tennessee Titans. I want to, and the Colts. They should be better for the run, so I'm going to go the Colts to win this one 1-13. But fair income, flip a freaking coin, man. Let's move on to the next game. And look, it's not going to be 50-50, but fair income. The points, the performance that the Chargers put up last weekend, the Texans are a chance, believe it or not. It's the Texans hosting the Los Angeles Chargers at NRG Stadium. The Texans are $2.93. Los Angeles Chargers are $1.41. Braden, man, is this as clear-cut of a result as we probably anticipate it's going to be?
In my opinion, yes, it is.
Yep, and all right, Chargers, man, you reckon 1-13 or 14 plus?
No, I reckon it will be a blowout, 14 plus.
Oh, okay, bloody poor Texans. BKR, you was along the same wavelength?
Yeah, I am. It just comes down to Justin Herbert's health, though, because he is a bit banged up right now. Austin Eckler needs to get something going, though, because he hasn't exactly been having a great season at all. But we obviously expected a lot better out of this Chargers offense. It really hasn't panned out so far. They definitely can leak points with their defense, though, but it is the Texans who just let the Bears win, who their quarterback only threw for 100 yards. So that is a big telling sign. They lost 23-20, I think it was, to a team that let their quarterback throw for literally like 100 yards. So I'm definitely taking the Chargers here, and I'll take them 14 plus for sure.
And look, I don't want to be too harsh on the Texans because I think that they've shown a bit of pride in the jersey this year, man. But again, you can't have the quarterback throw 100 yards and not, win the game sort of thing. So I agree with you on that sentiment. So I'm going to go the Los Angeles Chargers to win this one 14 plus, but fair income Chargers. Don't charger it up in this one. Fair income. Let's move on to the next one now. Dallas Cowboys are hosting the Washington Commanders from AT&T Stadium, and the Dallas Cowboys are the favorites at $1.54 to the Washington Commanders $2.49. BKR Sport, man. Look, the first two rounds of the season for the Dallas Cowboys weren't impressive, but Cooper Rush, man, I like what he's doing, and I think a majority are enjoying what he's doing with the Dallas Cowboys these past 2 weeks.
I think Dak Prescott's actually going to find it. He's obviously signed a decent contract, so he should still have that first man in when he comes back. But overall, yeah, he's been impressive, and the Cowboys have looked better in the last 4 weeks. I wouldn't say great, but better. Obviously, Ezekiel Elliott was finally able to kind of break out in this last game and help people out with the fact that he's been banged up for a couple of years now, realistically, and his body's so different now. Tony Pollard is a really good additional piece there as well. CeeDee Lamb drops the ball too much though for me. The Cowboys, like he can be so good, and he does get a lot of receptions, but that's because he gets targeted so much. Because he's realistically the only guy there now that Amari Cooper has obviously gone to Cleveland. And then in comparison with Washington, obviously they have been a bit of a surprise this year. They haven't actually looked that bad overall. But I'm going to have to take a favorite here. I'm going to have to take Dallas in Dallas. I can't see Washington getting that job done there. Carson Wentz isn't exactly horrific, but overall, I just think that there's more pieces to the puzzle at Dallas than there is at Washington. And it'll be good though when Brian Robinson potentially comes back, because obviously with his injury, that's kind of hampered them a little bit. Antonio Gibson's been serviceable, but Brian Robinson will be a little bit of an addition there. But Dallas should be able to pick apart their defense, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Carson Wentz hasn't been disgraceful this year, man. Braden, how do you reckon Cowboys and Commanders are going to go this weekend?
I reckon Cooper Rush will make it 4-0, but I reckon they will win it with their defense with Trayvon Diggs.
And what do you reckon, 1-13 or 14 plus, man?
I'm going to take 1-13. I reckon they win by 11 points.
Yeah.
Just to clarify quickly, when you said 4-0, I think, are you talking about the record?
Yeah, he wrestled Hooper Rush wrestled at the starting
his
quarterback.
record. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the Dallas because I was like, oh no, they'll be 3-1 if it happens. But no, that makes
Yes.
sense if you're talking about Cooper Rush as a quarterback.
No,
Yeah. No, good stuff. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys, man. Yeah, I've been really impressed the past couple of weeks. Not so much the first 2 weeks, but been impressive over the past couple of weeks, man. This game is another flip of the coin. I actually really don't know what's going to happen. It is the Mercedes. It is coming to us from Atlanta, Georgia, from the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The Atlanta Falcons are hosting the Cleveland Browns, and the home team, the Falcons, are $2.03. As the Cleveland Browns are $1.79. And the Atlanta Falcons so far, man, they were my personal tip for the wooden spoon this season. And they've been really plucky. And unfortunately, Braden, they got the Seahawks last freaking weekend. Braden, bro, do you think the Falcons are going to take a lot of confidence from that and beat the Cleveland Browns? Or do you think the Browns are just starting to figure things out and are ready to ignite potentially from this game onwards, mate? What do you reckon about this contest?
I reckon they will take a lot of confidence because they got Kyle Pitt more involved, and you saw what they did with Cordell Patterson. The Seattle defense couldn't stop him rushing the ball. But I reckon Cleveland will win just so because it actually looking good, and I reckon Amari Cooper have been a very big decision coming from the Dallas Cowboys, and I reckon Cleveland will win 13+.
Oh, 13 plus.
Call, man.
That's a nice call, man. And BKR, do you reckon Nick Chubb is just going to go on his ways? At the moment, he is leading in the rushing yards, man. He is on top, and I don't think that surprises too many people. But Nick Chubb, man, is just keeping along, chugging along, bro.
So with Nick Chubb, I actually drafted in my fantasy team, which was fantastic for these first few weeks. However, I actually have traded for. I have actually gone for multiple pieces rather than Nick Chubb. So I've made a bit of a ballsy decision there. But it's because as well, these first 3 weeks have been a lot easier opponents for Cleveland than the upcoming run that they're about to go on. This game here was originally always going to be a part of that first 4-game easy stretch, and then it gets much more difficult from here on out. Look, I think that Cleveland have been looking good, and Cleveland obviously utilised Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt really well there. I do have Amari Cooper in my fantasy because I just knew he'd be the only guy that would get all the targets there, and pretty much has been the last couple of weeks. He's just been absolutely dominating it, which has really been helping out Cleveland's offense there. But Falcons are looking nice, man. The Falcons surprised me greatly. They really do look nice. Marcus Mariota really has been clicking with that offense. Who's the one that we're talking about here? The Drake London, that's the one I was talking about. He's been incredible. Kyle Pitts has actually taken a bit of a backward step comparatively to London, which has surprised most. Obviously, they thought he was going to be the main target getter in that offense this year, but it has been Drake London show. Cordell Patterson, Algier, they've been just really working well. The defense still worries me there for the Falcons, however. I don't know how well they're going to be able to stop Nick Chubb, but I have to go with an underdog at some stage, guys. I can't just keep going favourites, and I think that this will probably be the best chance at an underdog for me this week. So I'll go the Falcons, and I'll go 1-13, and it's because it's in Atlanta as well.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm still undecided even as we speak now, bro.
It just comes down if they can stop Nick Chubb, man. That's really what it will come down to, because if they can't stop Nick Chubb, then they're done. But if they can open the field up with Amari Cooper and Nick Chubb, and then obviously tandem with Kareem Hunt, it's going to be dangerous.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns. I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns, man. I'm going to put a little bit of trust in them, and whoever they face next week, I probably won't tip them. Let's move on to the next contest. The Philadelphia Eagles hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Philadelphia Eagles are at $1.33. The Jaguars are at $3.44. The game's coming to us from Lincoln Financial Stadium over there in Philadelphia, bro. Jacksonville absolutely smashed the ever-living hell out of the Los Angeles Chargers last weekend, BKR. Are the Jaguars a sniff in this game, or are the Philadelphia Eagles going to go 4-0 after the end of this game?
Philadelphia's offense is pretty sweet. It's going to be really tough for the Jags to hold this one down. The Chargers, like we were talking about before, have been really probably cold, I would say. Not even quite cold. They've just been cold this year from what we thought they would be, and especially obviously in the game that you just mentioned there. But like, yeah, Jalen Hurts to me is absolutely killing it. I just got to start up here from this Washington game, and threw for 340 yards, 3 touchdowns, and is also obviously known for getting a bit of run going as well. So I just don't know if they can stop Jalen Hurts here. I don't think they can stop Jalen Hurts here, the Jags. But I don't mind Trevor Lawrence. I think we all knew he was going to be the pretty boy quarterback that would come in and do a nice job. I'm still not convinced on the Jags though. That's why I'm pretty happy to still go Philadelphia. And I'm actually, I'll go. I'm going to go 14 plus. I'm going to go 14 plus in Philadelphia. I just think that Jalen Hurts is going to really be able to hurt the Jags.
Nice. And BKR, dude, if the Jaguars keep it to the 1-10 scoreline, man, do you think that, like, does the belief start to grow for you, man, even if they lose by 1 to 10 points?
Yeah, I would still have concern if they lose. I would still have concerns for them. But overall, I think that they've definitely surprised a lot. Like, they're on top of a division right now that had the Tennessee Titans and Indianapolis Colts. They're the only team with 2 wins that division. So it is impressive. But who are the 2 teams that the 3 teams that they've taken on? Obviously, they took on the Chargers, which was, like I said, the Chargers have been poor, but that was a good performance there from the Jags as well.
And they blocked out the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, that is impressive. But the Colts have been really off it this year as well. And then you got they lost to Washington. So they go and beat the Chargers, and they go and beat the Colts. They lose to Washington. That's incredible. So look, I guess that's a very 50-50 team right there. So it's a 50-50 result. I think that if it does go in favor of Philly, they win by a blowout. If it does go in favor of the Jags, it's a close game.
Yep. Braden, man, Philadelphia. Look, for me, I had the Philadelphia Eagles as one of the real contenders to feature in an NFC championship game at the start of the year, man. Do you think how well do you think the Philadelphia Eagles are going? And do you reckon they'll win this game on Monday morning?
Well, it's the Doug Peterson Bowl, I like to call it.
The what bowl, mate?
The Doug Peterson Bowl.
Oh, dude, true. Okay, yeah.
I was in Philadelphia, the best team in the NFC East.
Oh, yeah.
They had a huge addition in the off-season with A.J. Brown, A.J. Brown coming over from the Tennessee Titans.
Massive. And do you reckon 1 to 13 or 14 plus, Brady?
And I reckon he have.
Oh, you cut that a bit.
I've team plus Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, man. Yeah, I'm gonna go easy, and I'm gonna go the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's move on to the next game now. And look, I think this could be the game of the weekend. The Baltimore Ravens are hosting the Buffalo Bills, and the Baltimore Ravens are $2.46, and the Buffalo Bills are $1.55. Braden, man, Buffalo Bills or Baltimore Ravens, man, who you going for in this one?
I'm taking the underdog. I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens 1 to 13.
Oh, wow, man. Wow, so Lamar Jackson's going to get it done.
Yeah, he playing for his money. So I reckon he's going to go for the MVP to try and get the payday.
He's paying for all the friggin' money in the world, that bloke. BKR Sport, how do you reckon this game's going to go down?
Yeah, it is tough. Going back to fantasy again, though, I have the Baltimore Ravens in my defense, and I saw that somebody, silly enough for me, really silly, actually dropped the Baltimore defense, the Buffalo defense. So I'm right now, I've just gone and picked them up, which I found crazy. I guess that right there should show where I'm leaning with it, because I just can't go past an offense that has, Dawson Knox, who's just signed a new contract with them. He's a massive tight end there. You've got Stephon Diggs, which is incredible. Gabe Davis as well. You've got Isaiah McKenzie, Josh Allen. There's just so much offense here. It's just so much. And even though their defense is lacking a couple of players right now, and they are a bit shortchanged here and there, they still kept themselves in the game against Miami. They, despite being, like I said, shortchanged, they only lost by a couple of points there. And that was a really high offense team in Miami there. So, look, I'm going to take Buffalo here. I'm definitely taking them, 1-13. But I also would not be surprised if Josh Allen puts on a show here and they do win by a big margin. but I will leave it. Yeah, I will leave it though in Baltimore at 113 though.
Now, BK, I think the Buffalo Bills are getting a piece back this weekend after a suspension. I can't remember the name. Do you remember the name? But I think the Buffalo Bills are getting a player back this weekend, so they are going to be stronger.
I think they had 6 players out against Miami in defense.
Yeah, definitely. They were down a bit there, man. And Buffalo Bills, still the best team in the league, even though they lost by a couple of points in Miami. I'm going to go the Buffalo Bills in this contest. Let's move on to the next game. There's only a few more games left, and this one is from the Bank of America Stadium. The Carolina Panthers are hosting the Arizona Cardinals, and they've got the Carolina Panthers. Hold on a tip. They've got the Carolina Panthers as $1.82 favorites to the Arizona Cardinals $2. That's extraordinary, just quietly, man. I'm going to tip the Cardinals just based off of value, BKR.
Straight into it, man. You just straight into it. There you go.
So who are you tipping, man?
No, I'll take the Cardinals here too. I think that they've been, superbly underwhelming so far, and I think that they've got no real deep ball. They've not really got somebody who can, get the ball down deep, which is what Kyler Murray does obviously like there. They're a few weeks away now from DeAndre Hopkins coming back, which will really help them out. I'm just not convincing the Panthers at all. I'm really surprised. I'd probably be jumping on those odds there of I know they call them the Coyotes, the Arizona Cardinals. I think that they're still a better team, and I think they've got a better defense. And although McCaffrey's not done anything really this year for the Panthers, no one's really done anything for the Panthers. David Moore, I think, he received like 2 yards in the last game. It was ridiculous. So, I just don't see Baker Mayfield isn't the right guy there, obviously. And I'll take the Cardinals, and I'll say 14+.
14+, mate. Oh, man, that'd be a nice return, man. Just put $20 on it. You get a nice return, I reckon. Braden, man, who are you going for in this contest?
I'm taking Arizona Cardinal
1 to 13 or 13? 1 to 13. 1 to 13. All right, then. Let's move on to the next game. Oh, man, this could be a really hard slog if you're going to watch this one. The Las Vegas Raiders are hosting the Denver Broncos from Allegiant Stadium. And it is the Las Vegas Raiders who are actually the favorites. The 0-3 Las Vegas Raiders are the favorites at $1.67 to the Denver Broncos $2.21. I'm going to do it again, BKR. This is shut and open, close and shut. Denver Broncos at $2.21. Oh, nah, actually, maybe it's not, man, because their attack, bro, is off in a massive, massive way, Denver Broncos. Las Vegas Raiders, they can still... Who?
Jerry Jeudy.
Yes.
I think he probably would be.
Yes, I think he is, yes. Vegas, man, are they going to go 0-4? BKR, man, what do you reckon about this one?
Yeah, it is a hard one. It seems like it's a pretty easy bet on the underdog here. However, it does actually, the more you think about it, it does get harder because it's not like the Raiders are a bad team. They're a decent team. They're not a fantastic team by any means. Well, when you've got Derek Carr as your quarterback, you're always going to have issues with people believing in you, and you're always going to have issues with being that really, like, they've got pieces, but it's just not there. There's no substance to it. But then you go and have a look over at the Denver Broncos. They do have some substance to their defense. They have good defense normally, and then they have some pieces, and they do have some substance. Like, I thought Denver were going to have a really, really good year this year, and they still could. It could just be Russell Wilson's trying to adapt to, the new play calling and to the new team and the new pieces that he's got in front of him. Like, Jerry Jeudy. I can't think of their other wide receiver right now. Javonte Williams hasn't really been getting it done. I'll call him Sutton's the other wide receiver that I'm thinking about. Look, it's just not been there for me. But I'll take him 1-13. I will take the Denver Broncos here 1-13. I will go with I will say that Raiders go 0-4, which is actually what I predicted pre-season, mind you. I did a stream on my other channel where I went through each game of every team, and I actually got, I think, 0-4 before I gave the Raiders a win and 0-5 on the 5th week or the 6th week or something like that. So I've kind of called the Raiders pretty well this year, but yeah, I'm surprised that obviously Devontae Adams been killing it. Didn't do too well, I think, last week, but yeah, I'll go the Broncos here as the underdogs, but I'll go close. Maybe it clicks this week.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing that's like making me stop and pause, because I'm just looking at the value and I nearly just opened and closed it. But no, it could click this weekend. Braden, mate, do you think it'll click for the Vegas Raiders, or are the Denver Broncos going to win another ugly game this weekend?
It pained me to say I'm going to take Russell Wilson in the Denver Broncos They have been playing terrible on. They have been playing terrible on offense, but their defense have been keeping them in the game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
Just before you
sorry,
jump in here, I do want to get your thoughts. Obviously, in that first game when Denver took on the Seahawks, obviously that was a very close game there. I think that it's quite funny that we look back on that now, and the reason why they didn't throw the ball on fourth there is because I think the offensive coordinator didn't really want to put the ball in Russ's hands at the time because he knew this was kind of a thing. Which is because obviously that you guys won that game by I think 2 points or whatever. But if they had given the ball to Russ rather than gone for a field goal like 55 yards out, you'd normally expect the Broncos to have won that game. So I think that game really set a precedent as well for how this Denver Broncos offense is going and what the belief is like within the team, which is concerning.
Yeah, no, very eloquently put, man. That makes total sense. And yeah, that's crazy. Any team, anyone, even if you're the Houston Texans, you go for it, man. At that stage, man, and by that far out from a first down. I'm actually kind of now a little bit undecided. I'm gonna tip the Broncos. I'm gonna tip the Denver Broncos, man, because I think Braden said that their defense is good. The defense of the Broncos has been good. But again, if it clicks for Raiders finally, man, happy days. And to the 21 people that are in the chat right now, thank you very much. We've got Braden here making his YouTube debut tonight, and I've really enjoyed some of his thoughts and his tips as well. Go back and watch them. And we've obviously got Mr. BKR Sport, one of Australia's best sporting content creators on YouTube, man. So I'm really appreciative of your time and both of these gentlemen's times as well. We've only just got a couple of more games to go, and then we'll get out of your hair, guys. And the next game is from Lambeau Field. It is the Green Bay Packers hosting the New England Patriots. And fair dinkum for the life of me, I have not seen the New England Patriots as big of an outsider as what they are in this game. The Green Bay Packers are $1.19 to the New England Patriots, $4.75.
Mac Jones is out, isn't he?
I was just about to ask you. I'm not sure if that was because Mac Jones is out, but I don't think I've ever seen the Patriots at $4 in any event, man. BKR, is Green Bay going to smash the Patriots, or the Patriots going to put up a fight?
No, obviously, I'm not the biggest fan of Green Bay as a Detroit fan.
Yep.
A lot of history there, but overall, I think the Packers win this one really, really well, and it honestly could be 20 plus. It could be 30 plus, and the reason being is because they've got no one. Well, obviously Mac Jones, I believe, is out from what I last heard. They've really, Ramondre Stevenson's an up and comer. They've got nothing really going for them on offense, and that's kind of still with Mac Jones, realistically. I don't necessarily believe in that offense even with Mac Jones, let alone without him. He is still at least a solid quarterback there that we have a bit of belief in long term. But then you go to the defense, it's not what it once was. Yeah, I'm pretty happy to go with the favorites here, the Packers. They don't really have a clear out-and-out wide receiver just yet, though. Lazard was thought to be it. Now they're talking about Romeo Doubs, and then who else is there? Aaron Rodgers has been begging for a wide receiver for so long, and they just got rid of their best wide receiver, Devontae Adams, to the Raiders, which is so strange. But yeah, look, it's still kind of confusing with the Packers, and they're still very tentative on what I think is in long term. But I do like that combination of A.J. Dillon alongside Aaron Jones. You don't really necessarily want either of those in fantasy, though, for anyone who is a fantasy viewer, because you don't. It's literally 50-50, right down the dot, right on the line. It's 50-50. So the split share there is one of the guys will have an unbelievable game and one of the guys will be serviceable. But yeah, look, I'll take Packers and I'll take them by a blowout margin.
Yeah, Braden, mate, look, I'm getting the sense that maybe you might go down the same path as BKR, mate. What do you reckon?
Yeah, two teams I do not like in the NFL. The Green Bay Packers being the best team, in my opinion, of the NFC. And New England still haunt me in my dream from the 1 yard line.
Should have run it, man. Should have run it.
And they don't have an offensive play caller like they're having Matt Patricia. And they cannot look good on offense. So I'm going to take Green Bay 14
we don't talk about Matt Patricia around these Detroit joints, man.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
So Detroit would be
Sorry, Braden. How much of a scoreline are you going there, bro?
14 plus, but I reckon they could win easily by 25.
Yep. And Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers should win this one in a canter. It should be easy done. And this is another really high-profile game, and I think, if I'm correct, this is the first time that these two sides have met since the Super Bowl a couple of seasons ago. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are hosting the Kansas City Chiefs from Raymond James Stadium, and the Buccaneers are the outsiders at $2.11, as the Kansas City Chiefs are $1.73 favourites coming into this one as the away side. Braden, man, Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady, who are you going for in this one?
I'm taking Patrick Mahomes to get his revenge on Tom Brady.
And do you reckon it'll be 1-13 or 14 plus?
I reckon 1-13 for Tampa. Still have a good, solid defense.
Yeah, exactly, man. BK, are you along the same wavelength as Braden?
Well, I have to be. I've got Patrick Mahomes as my quarterback in fantasy, so I need him to have a big game there. But Tampa's a tough team, man. They've got no wide receivers, though. That's the biggest issue with them, because Chris Godwin has been down with a hamstring injury for most of the season, and they're just really in Mike Evans' suspension. And, they've just never really had someone this year so far. But I think Godwin's back this week, though, which he's questionable right now. He's questionable to return, which would be a really big addition for them, because they do need just more people on the field to spread the ball out. Because right now, it's very one-dimensional with Tampa. They're still a very good team. When they get all their pieces back, they're going to be scary as per usual. And the Kansas City O-line is going to have to really get some protection going here for Mahomes, because he doesn't exactly have an unbelievable amount of talent. Like, obviously, yes, he's got Kelsey. Understand that, but overall, they don't have the juju. It hasn't really panned out at the moment. It's not really kind of going for him. Edwards-Helaire has been getting a couple of, even not in the last week or so though, but he's only been getting about six targets. So I'm bringing him for like 3 receptions, which is still fine. But there's nothing really, there's no Tyreek Hill deep ball anymore, which is what we knew the Chiefs to have in their locker. So no matter what, you could go short or you could go deep. And this is the problem that I was saying with the Cardinals before as well, is that they don't have that deep ball. I'm not even too sure. Is Julio Jones healthy for this game as well for the Bucs?
I'm not too sure, man.
Not too sure. Look, I'll go the Chiefs. I will go. Is this in Tampa or is it in Kansas?
It's in Tampa.
Tampa. Oh. Because the Tampa now throws me off. I'll say Kansas, simply because I'm not confident in the receiving core of the Bucs just yet. But this could be a field goal game, or it could be a 10-point game. But I'll lean with the Chiefs, just because I'm a bit more confident in the, I guess, youth of Patrick Mahomes too.
Yeah, and
could I please quickly jump in?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I'm pretty sure Mike Evans back next week from his 1 week suspension.
Yep.
And is it true that Tampa is moving to Miami because of the hurricane?
Oh, that could be a shout.
Oh, that's a fair income. Good question, man. And yeah, there are problems, isn't there? There could be. They couldn't even be playing in Florida. They might not even play in Florida this weekend. That's a really good question, Braden. So keep an eye out for that, because Hurricane
wouldn't be crazy to see them actually move the game to Kansas, which is a bit away, but it wouldn't be crazy considering that if they can't even utilize Florida, I wouldn't be surprised.
That's a fantastic question, Braden, bro, because it happened last season on the New Orleans Saints. They had to move their game against the Packers down to Jacksonville. So I keep an eye on it, bro, but I don't think it will, because I think there was a little bit more talk about that game last year than what there is happening right now. But no, fantastic question, bro. I'm going to go the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, the defense is the Buccaneers' strong suit at the moment, and I think the Chiefs will just have a bit too. But I just think the Chiefs, they'll have a few too many points, man. The Buccaneers offensively, not clicking. We've said that term a couple of times tonight, but they're not clicking so far this year. Let's move into the final game, Tuesday morning, Australian Eastern Standard Time, NFC West divisional rivalry game. San Francisco 49ers are hosting the Los Angeles Rams. The San Francisco 49ers are the favorites at $1.76. and the LA Rams are $2.07. What the hell happened to San Francisco last weekend in Denver? Los Angeles Rams are going to win this one. They're the outsiders, and yeah, San Francisco. What the hell happened in Denver, BKR?
San Francisco, I've never really been confident this year. A lot of people were high on them coming to the year. For me, it was I'm just not. I haven't bought in on the stock at the moment. Look, I think they're a definite decent team, and in San Francisco, the reason why I'm actually super confused who I go with here is because I would have thought the Rams would be favorites. I would have expected that. Obviously, they're not. The 49ers in San Francisco are a very different team, and I really think, because I think that game was in Denver, wasn't it? I think that game last week was in Denver. When you go to San Francisco, it's just, I don't know what it is about that stadium. They just always seem to really, turn it up. And I know that's home ground advantage. I know that's something that you should expect. But it's just with San Francisco, I get that home feeling, and it's a divisional rival. San Francisco and LA hate each other so much in all different sports. You've got the Dodgers and the Giants. You've got the and then you go to the basketball and the Golden State Warriors and the Lakers / Clippers, whatever. And then you go here and you've got the Rams and the 49ers. And I just don't know if they're going to lose at their own home stadium to their biggest rivals. But then again, the Rams are better, but they're also not exactly looking absolutely unbelievable this year. Cam Akers is starting to make a little bit of a comeback, but with that being said, coming back from an ACL is always tough. Cooper Kupp, we all know how good he is. Look, I actually will. I really want to go 49ers here, and it's crazy to say this because they're the favorites. I should be like, oh no, I'll go the favorites here, but I just don't agree with those favoritism odds. I don't agree with the favoritism. I'm going to go 49ers. I'm going to go 49ers.
I don't agree with it.
Home.
Nice. Yeah. No, I don't agree with it either, man. I think that's kind of remarkable. At least it could have been $1.90 each way. Braden, man, how are you feeling about this game, bro?
Well, I want to know, did the 49ers lead their offense in Denver and
bloody better
win a whole new offense to back home? But I'm actually paying me to say the LA Rams, they have Cooper Kupp, who's the best offensive player in the league, in my opinion, and he started to rush the ball.
Yes, he did score his first rushing touchdown last week, yes.
And he also, a side note, from Washington State. He went to college in Washington State, home of the mighty Seahawks.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll take the LA Rams here, 1-13, in a bit of an upset by the bookmaker.
Oh, dude, some of the odds, man, this weekend. I mean, they mustn't be keeping an eye on it as closely as what they, as some people might think, man. Some of these odds, especially this one.
Oh man,
really
you can't beat Vegas though, man. Vegas know their shit. Like Vegas know their stuff. Like if there's odds out, that means that they know something's going on here. But I honestly feel like I'm taking an underdog with the 49ers. It's really strange. I feel like I'm taking an underdog when they're not. I'll stay away from that game, but that's what Vegas do, man. I'm telling you, be careful.
Yeah, man.
When they do stuff like this, they know something's up.
Guys, that's it for the show. We've gone through the entire week. There's 38 people watching live right now. I think that's a record for me, just quietly. So everybody, thank you very much for tuning in and giving it a crack. Young fella, Braden, mate. It's not an easy thing to pop yourself online and give your opinion. It's actually rather brave of you to do. I commend you for it. It is, man. So, Braden, man, I hope you've really enjoyed yourself and you felt comfortable doing this, mate. And I'll have you on again anytime, man. Thank you very much for your time tonight, Braden. Do you have anything you'd like to promote? Is there anything that you'd like to say before we sign off?
I just want to say thank you for having me. It's been an honor, and hopefully I haven't made a fool of myself on YouTube.
Nah, not at all, man. No, you're giving it a good go, and you got to start out somewhere, and you can't just start out really confidently like that, man. You just got to keep on doing it, and that's the whole point, man. So no, you did well for your first go at it, man. So good on you. Absolutely,
yes, Braden.
Thank you. And if you want to find me on Instagram, it's at Braden_Crate98.
All right, no worries. And I will put that in the link in the description below. Why can't I ever get that right? And BKR, man, you're about to do another stream as well. You're just going to go from the next to the next thing, mate, aren't you?
Yeah, we've got the Dally M stream in about 20 minutes time. So the Dally M's obviously for the rugby league, which is going to be pretty interesting to say the least. So yeah, that'll be in 20 minutes time. So if anyone's obviously an NRL fan, jump on over and chill out with us as we watch on as maybe Nigger Hines, Benny Hunt, or someone from not Jared Hayne. He's not playing. Obviously, he was in the NFL. I don't even know why I said that, but we'll be on Dally M. He won Dally M actually, didn't he? Didn't Jared Hayne win Dally M?
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
yes.
And he played NFL. There's my correlation. But yeah, no, we'll be jumping on in 20 minutes time.
Nice, guys. So, links to his BKR channel will be in the description below. Thank you, everyone, to the 47 people that are watching us right now. Thank you very much for giving this stream a crack. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a very nice weekend. Enjoy.
One,
Adios.